So I'm here in New York to take a look at one of the most historical documents on the planet. An original Declaration of Independence broadside. There's probably only 20 left in private hands, and I'm about to take a look at one right now. Jeremy?
Hey, Rick, yep.
I'm here for the broadside.
Come on in. There it is.
Definitely a wow moment.
A wow moment, right. This is an extremely rare July 1776 printing of the Declaration of Independence.
This is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my career.
I've been in this market for years, and it's a thrill to handle something like this. So the condition of this copy is truly exceptional. This was sourced from a private collection. It has never been sold at public auction, and it's highly sought after.
So, yeah, this is just incredible. This was right after the 4th of July. I think it was John Dunlop was a printer in Philadelphia. He goes out and he basically takes a copy from Congress and writes it all out, then goes back to the print shop, lays out his print, and starts printing these. They think he printed right around 200 of them, okay? And that was the original one. And then when other printers around the country got a hold of them, they also made copies, and this is the New Hampshire one, correct?
Correct.
That's the way the internet worked back then. I mean, you know, it was a little bit slower. So, I mean, you know, like 10 days later, people in New Hampshire are finding out about this.
Right.
A week or two later, it's probably in the Carolinas. And eventually, everybody knew about it. I imagine your local tavern, when this was first penned up, there was a lot of people standing around going, damn. This is like putting your thumb to the most powerful country in the world at the time.
Yeah. And you know what's really cool about this one? You can actually see the pinholes here in the corners, which indicates that it was displayed publicly.
It'd probably hang for a week. Everyone would come by and look at it. Oh, you know, after a few weeks, a poster for the new band was going to be there. They were never, ever meant to be saved.
Yeah.
As far as documents go, it's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my career. So how much you looking for this?
This was displayed at the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia. It's in exceptional condition. It's extremely scarce. $2 million.
Okay. Everything looks right on it, but I just want a document expert to look at it.
Sure.
I have one coming down, best document guy in New York. Once he says everything's the real deal, we'll go from there, okay?
Fair.
Because a little bit of knowledge can always get you in trouble, and that's what I got.
I believe it's worth $2 million for this, but we'll leave it up to him and see what he thinks. I'll be curious to know where he lands.
So here we go.
Yeah, I am thrilled to see this. I'm Seth Kaller, and I'm a dealer and a museum collection builder and an expert in important historic documents.
Everything looks right to me, but like, I don't want to be 99% sure.
Right. I normally would have to take this out of the frame to authenticate it, but I've actually seen this exact copy before. Some of the things that we looked at when I first authenticated this was to compare this to all of the known copies of the same broadside. And part of what held it up, there are the nail holes from back then, which are not, you know, very consistent round nails like we have today. They're all handmade and different. And you can see on the handmade laid paper even the impression of individual letters. People think of the Declaration of Independence as the signed copy, but that was actually done a month later, really as a souvenir. The word had to get out by these printed documents. So there were a couple hundred printed on the night of July 4th to 5th. They're sent out by John Hancock, and the major cities where they arrive reprint them. And this copy actually was posted on a wall, so you can imagine 1776, somebody walking up to it and reading about this event that changed their lives.
All right, so I mean, it's 100% legit.
Absolutely.
All right. Brass tacks, what is it worth?
This particular one is a really beautiful copy. It's just a wonderful broadside, an important relic of history, and the world changed when the first people looked at this very document. I think this could go for $2 million at auction now.
That's what I wanted to hear, man. I will let you know what happens, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in. Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Good to see you. This is a fantastic, rare, earth-changing document. If Rick can purchase this, I think it would be great for him. I'd be a little jealous.
All right, so you said it was, it could be worth $2 million. Whenever you hear on the news something selling at an auction for a lot of money, that's the headline number. There is a ridiculous amount of fees. I would love to give you like $1.4 million.
It's a fair point you make about the fees. I mean, I know how it works. I would sell it to you for $1.5 million.
Okay. I'll meet you in the middle. 1.45, I think that's fair. I think we can both be happy with that.
I think we got a deal.
Oh my goodness, I own the Declaration of Independence.
Congratulations, congratulations.
I will get the money wired to you. I will pick it up from you tomorrow. I have a friend I wanted to show it to, so just keep it till tomorrow. And like I said, thanks again, Ben.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. So, $1.45 million, no fees for the auctioneers, get the deal done today. I'm happy. Cue the fireworks.
So I'm here in London to buy some Banksy art. Banksy is the most famous graffiti artist in the world, hands down. And he recently had an original piece go for $12 million. There's a collector here in London. He's got some Banksy art he's looking to sell. I want to buy it. I hope the price is not crazy because I think it's an incredible investment right now. And I did not fly halfway around the world to come home empty-handed.
So here's a piece.
Whoa.
That's an original Banksy.
That's amazing. So it's Monkey Detonator, right?
Yes, made in 2002. It's an original piece made out of a stencil and spray on board.
That's pretty amazing. Is that one his too?
Absolutely. This one is an original screen print. Welcome to hell.
These are amazing. He looks pissed off.
Yeah. I represent the owner of two Banksy pieces that are for sale, Monkey Detonator and Welcome to Hell. The owner is looking to get $918,000 US for both pieces.
This is incredible. I love Banksy. I mean, he came up with his own particular style. So when you see a Banksy, you say that's Banksy. He has got that crazy mystique about him because no one knows who he or she is. And it's literally the most popular art in the world now. I mean, it is the hottest art. There will be a day when a Banksy breaks the $100 million mark. I truly believe that.
Absolutely.
He did this in 2002, right after the entire economy melted down across the planet, right after 9/11. And I just look at it like any random thing can blow up everything.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you never know who's going to press on the red button nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple, but it's just quintessential Banksy.
So this one is edition of 175, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity made by the Pest Control.
The Pest Control, that's like his authentication company or something like that?
Yes. It comes with a bill that was cut in half with a number, and Banksy Pest Control will keep the other half to make sure it's original.
So if you go to resell one of these, they will say, yes, this is one of the originals.
Absolutely.
So we have the cert for this, and do you have the cert for this one?
Yes. The owner conserved the original.
How much?
Well, my client wants £750,000.
I don't know the exact exchange rate, but that would be right around $900,000.
More or less.
And the rat?
The owner asked for £15,000.
Right around 18,000 American.
More or less.
More or less. Okay. So I knew he was coming here. I arranged for a local expert that was recommended to me. He's an expert in street art and Banksy. I want him to come down. I want to take a look at him, verify everything, and then we'll talk numbers.
It's absolutely normal. Please take your time.
Okay, give me just a few moments.
Sure.
900,000 is detonating my brain right now. This is the Banksy.
Wow, amazing. Let me take a closer look. So this is the monkey detonator, and easily identifiable as a Banksy just from the overspray. You see how he sprays and there's slight blurred lines?
Yeah, I mean, it screams Banksy.
Absolutely.
So what do you think about it?
It's an important work by him, and it's obviously an early work by him. But Banksy was painting way back in the late 90s on the street quite early in Bristol and organising events. And then he came up to London, and that's really when 2000, 2001, when his notoriety started to rise.
So what do you think of this one?
I mean, Banksy's rats are his signature, but I think this is one of the special ones for me.
Yeah, I do believe it's like quintessential Banksy.
Quintessential is the right word, yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm buying legit stuff and I'm buying it at the right price.
Sure, I understand.
So, are they legit?
I need to check the certificates, and I see we have one certificate here for this print. The one thing is that we're very lucky that Banksy invented this system, so we can check that with pest control, so knowing it's a real McCoy.
Okay.
So I can tell from the certificate and by certain security features that this is a legitimate Banksy.
Cool.
And do you have the certificate for the original as well?
Yes, the owner is currently traveling on a business trip, and we can send you the certificate.
Okay. And the process of me checking that would take 24 hours.
So, if I make a deal, you can get them all checked out, and we can just broker the entire thing through your shop.
It would be a pleasure.
All right, the big question. What are they worth?
I would see this piece, the monkey detonator, on a good day in auction, achieving 900,000, maybe more.
Pounds.
Pounds.
So 900,000 pounds is a smidgen more than $1 million.
Indeed.
And what does this go for?
Recent auction results, we've seen this print achieve £16,000.
So that's right around 19,000 American, right around
Thereabouts,
that?
yeah, thereabouts.
Okay. All right, I will give you a call if the deal comes together, and we'll get it done. Okay?
Sounds good. Nice to meet you.
All right.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Okay. 500,000 pounds total. That's $600,000.
I'm afraid that for this price, we are a bit far, especially that the market is pretty high right now.
All right, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 600,000 pounds. That's 720,000 American.
It's a very fair offer, but unfortunately, it's too far still.
Do you think he'll take 650? That's 780,000 American.
You know, I'm gonna try to reach him right now and get back to you.
Okay.
Just please give me a second.
I really want these things. Call me crazy, but I did not fly across the pond for nothing.
I was able to reach the owner. Congratulations, we have a deal at 700,000 pounds.
I offered 650.
My client is a very tough businessman, and believe me, the market will continue to grow. It's a great deal you have on your hands. You won't regret it.
My family will think I'm nuts, but okay, we got a deal. Okay, 700,000 pounds, it's 840,000 American. Get everything over to Oliver. The second he tells me everything is verified, I'll wire the money, he'll get you paid.
Congratulations, they're beautiful pieces. You won't regret it because Banksy is bankable.
And hopefully Corey and Chum don't commit me when I get back to Vegas.
So I'm here in Boston because I found this person who has a 1652 New England shilling, literally the first coin ever minted in the colonies. So if I could pick this thing up, I could make my own serious coinage. You must be Ed.
Great.
And that is it. Of colonial coins, that's the Holy Grail. These were the first coins struck in the colonies. They were really, really proud of it, even though it's possibly the plainest coin ever made.
I have a 1652 New England silver shilling. I found the coin about 30 years ago in the Boston area, and recently I found out that it was a very valuable and rare coin. I've had it for a period of time, and I just want to be able to share it with somebody else who has the same interest that I do.
It's super, super cool. The 1650s, the colonies still considered themselves British subjects. They just wanted a little bit more autonomy. And this was sort of like saying, you know, we're not completely independent from England, but kind of independent from England. So this was sort of another step towards pissing off the English. All right, yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing. It hasn't been clipped.
You never see old coins complete like this because people would go and they would clip a teeny bit off, and next one file a little bit off, next one file a little bit off, and next thing you know, they have 2 shillings worth of silver. But the problem is that eventually there'd be next to no coin left. That's why Sir Isaac Newton invented the reeded edge on a coin.
It's in awfully good shape.
We got NE there for New England, and we have a 12 on the back of it. What's the 12 for?
I would say 12 pence.
Okay, that's what a shilling is, yeah, all right. I'm just shocked to see it. God, it's in great shape. In the coin collecting world, it's one of the big ones. So, here's the big question. What do you want for this thing?
Well, I've seen it at auction anywhere between $250,000 upwards of $400,000. So I think that's a good starting point.
Yeah, but you didn't give me a starting point.
So how about $300,000?
Okay. What about 2 1/4?
I don't know if I'd want to go that low. Can we meet at 250?
It's just in really great shape. And at 250, I still make some money. So we got a deal.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate you
All right,
coming
cool.
in, Rick. So I was very happy to make the sale today. And with the money, my wife's been pestering me to get out of the cold New England winters. So maybe I'll buy a second home in a warmer climate.
Hey, what do we got here?
A whole lot of silver.
Let me help you out real quick. The old man is crazy about silver. He's gonna be like a kid on Christmas morning when he sees this. I've never seen you get up from your desk that quick.
I always get up, son.
Not generally very
Move your
quick.
hand.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my silver. I have over 3,000 ounces. Growing up, my dad always taught me to invest, and so I'm here today to cash in on that investment. If they want less than face value, well, we'll see what we can work out.
Wow, that is a boatload of silver you have right there. Where did you get all this stuff?
So I bought it about 12 years ago, and I held on to it, and here I am today.
So what do you got here?
I got some 90% silver dimes over here, some quarters. I got these bars, and this thing alone is almost 75 pounds.
Oh, that's cool. Most people don't realize until 1964, all U.S. dimes, quarters, half dollars, silver dollars were all made out of silver. And all paper money was a promise to pay you real money.
Right.
I've been collecting silver, son, for the past 30 years. Silver and gold is a hedge against hyperinflation.
People have been mining silver since at least 3000 BC. But silver mining really blew up after the discovery of the New World when they found huge amounts of it in South America. All right, I just got to make sure, it's all silver coin.
Okay.
It's really important for me to scan all the edges on these to make sure there's no modern coins in here. When you look at an edge of a quarter or a dime today, you see copper and nickel. Pre-64, all silver, no copper. They look right. It's the right color. It's all 1964 or before. Do you mind if I go weigh them just to make sure they weigh the right amount?
No problem.
So you have 3,372 ounces of silver. You bought right at the bottom of the market. In the late 1990s, silver was down to $3 an ounce, but silver is the best conductor of electricity there is, period.
Okay.
Just about every cell phone, every computer, television, they all started needing silver. By, I think it was last year, 500 million ounces of silver was used just in industry. I hear that there's basically a shortage of silver nowadays. I'd love to buy silver all day, every day of the week, because there's a set profit margin. I can sell it on the market immediately. So what do you want to do with it?
I want to sell it.
Ricky, this one's going to be difficult to buy, and you know why.
When you're talking this much money, there's too much temptation to put a bar of steel or something in the center. And when they make them this big, they don't make them in odd weights.
So you're saying this might not be pure silver?
What I'm saying is there might be a chunk inside that's not pure silver.
Can we test this thing?
Yeah, drill a few holes in it, take the shavings out, melt them down, make sure it's all silver. Give me a few minutes. If everything checks out, I'll pay you. If it doesn't check out, I'll give you an address where you can send it. Okay?
Okay. I never even imagined this might not be silver. I'm really nervous right now.
Testing silver is a little work, but it's not rocket science. First off, you have to drill deep enough to make sure there's not a lead core or some other metal in the middle of the bar. Then you melt down all the filings until they liquefy and you create a small button. The last step is dropping some nitric acid on it and seeing what color it turns. When nitric acid reacts with pure silver, it turns a creamy white. If it's any other metal, it can turn green, blue to gray.
Okay, here's the deal. Yeah, it's all right, it's fine.
Now that I know it's pure silver, I'll be more than happy to buy this humongous bar, but I have to factor in the unusual cost when trying to sell something so heavy and odd-shaped.
You got 46,000 for the coins, 33,390 for these bars right here. 32.39 times 942 equals. So we got a total of $110,901.
Well, let's make a deal.
That is the deal.
You can't go like 115?
No. I mean, there's not a lot of profit here. On $110,901, I'm probably gonna make 1,500 bucks off you.
But can't you just hold all this for 6 months, a year, and sell it for 120?
Or hold on to it for 6 months and sell it for 50? I am not a speculator in the silver market. I'm a businessman.
So what's your best price you can give me today?
I'll go 111,000 even. I'll go up 99 bucks.
How about 112?
No, there's no money to be made for it.
You know, you're welcome to check around, but most people go $1 back on everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I can do. I can do 111,000. Or if you want to, you can tote the stuff around and check some more.
Well, I bought it 12 years ago for way less than that. 111 sounds good to me.
All right, it's a deal, 111.
I'm really glad my dad taught me to invest, because today I'm walking out with over $100,000.
I'm gonna take one of these, Rick.
No, you're not.
Come on.
A few days ago, I got a call from my buddy Larry, who repairs helicopters. He says he's got a guy who wants to sell me one. So he set up a meeting, and I'm on my way to check it out. So this is it, huh?
No, actually, this is it.
Really?
It's all there.
Yeah, I know you said it was in a crash, but you didn't tell me it crashed and burned.
I'm a helicopter pilot myself. I purchased this helicopter from an insurance company with the hope of trying to rebuild it. With the tough times I'm having right now, I'm just trying to get my money back out of it.
Looks like a pile of junk to me.
It was just involved in a hard landing.
And did the pilot walk away? Did the pilot die in this thing? Because it might give me a bad vibe or something.
A pilot and passenger were both fine.
All right. So why in the world did you buy this in the first place?
I love aviation, and I wanted a challenge. I thought it would be fun to be able to buy it and rebuild it myself.
Just didn't work out?
No, I lost my job, so I don't have the finances to rebuild it anymore.
I just don't think I can do anything with this. This is much worse than anything Larry told me about, or I assumed.
Hey, Rick, how you doing?
Hey, Larry, how's it going, man?
Good. Hey, Sean.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm the chairman of the board for LJ Air Corporation. We're one of the largest fleet owners of Schweitzers in the Southwest.
Yeah, when I was called down here, I thought I was going to see a helicopter. This is, I don't know what this is.
Well, it's an opportunity.
So exactly what kind of helicopter is this?
The model number is a Schweitzer 300C. This is a 1992. Now, this aircraft was originally designed for the military about 1967, and they did all of the flight training in the Army with this, but it was actually designed to crash and be able to be fixed in the field there instead of having to take it back to a factory.
So it's like the only helicopter made to be crashed?
It is actually made to be crashed.
So apparently this helicopter is designed to be crashed. Well, I'd really like to talk to the guy who designed this helicopter because it's crashed and it really doesn't look that good. Yeah, I don't know much about helicopters, but for me to stay here another 5 minutes, you're really gonna have to do some talking.
This looks like it's in bad condition, but frankly, this whole front cab, I can typically rebuild within about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. So did the motor survive the crash?
Oh, yes, it did. This is good. If you were to buy the engine, it'd be a $30,000 engine, and you have that good to start with. Each of the components into the drivetrain, like these pulleys. These are $20,000 a piece. These are all okay. So a lot of the things that it takes to rebuild the aircraft are okay.
So how much would it be just to rebuild the whole thing?
Oh, a thumb sketch estimate would be $100,000.
Whoa. I mean, I just don't see where there's any money to be made.
The retail value of this is about $150,000.
Okay.
So there's a $50,000 gain right away.
Larry has thrown around some huge numbers, and that's scary. But if that translates into huge profits, I'm definitely interested. What did you want for this thing?
I bought this off the insurance company for $10,000, so that's what I'm looking to get out of it.
Will you take any less than 10?
I mean, I can't really afford to take anything less than 10.
Okay. All right, 10,000, it's a deal, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I feel good about buying this because, like Larry said, even if I don't fix it up, I can always sell it for parts and I can make like $5 grand. But if there's more to be made, maybe I'll end up fixing it up. Before you start working on it, let me run this by my pops real quick. I just don't want him weirding out on me or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would too.
See, I told you it's nice.
Well, if it hadn't been Rick, I'd have sold one of your kidneys.
Beats the hell out of a hot air balloon, huh?
Ain't that the damn truth?
This thing looks amazing. It's like a real helicopter. A month ago, this thing was a scrap heap. Larry did an amazing job.
Basically, everything on here had to be rebuilt. The frame was okay, and the engine was okay. So basically, all I had to do was rebuild the body. I searched around and I found a lot of reconditioned parts, so that you didn't have to put all new parts on the aircraft. But everything on here that has to be reliable, those are all new parts. After we got the cab together and we put all the glass and everything in, we knew that it was all going to be a good aircraft. And once we lifted the engine in, basically the aircraft was done. So it just took time and, knowing how to do it.
So the big question is, will we get it right at $100 grand?
Well, because we used reconditioned parts instead of new parts, I saved you a lot of money. So I think I've made the $100,000 mark you were looking for.
Sweet. So how much do you think I can sell it for now?
It'll probably sell for about $160,000 to $175,000.
I'm really happy the way this thing turned out. I'm really, really happy we didn't go over budget, and I'll be really, really, really happy when we sell this thing and make a profit, because we got a lot of money tied up. You're gonna do the maiden voyage in it, Pop, so get up in there.
We all got the most to gain by this thing going down with you in it.
Hey, I've done made my will out and left everything to the damn cat. I like flying, and I especially like flying when it takes me away from Rick and Corey.
Hey, Rick.
Hey.
There's some guy in the back with Eleanor?
What?
I don't know. You want to go meet him?
All right. You finish these up for me?
Yeah, sure.
You gotta be kidding me. Shelby GT350, Gone in 60 Seconds, the movie. It's Eleanor, I get it. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
This thing is nice. This is the real thing, not a clone, huh?
The real deal. This is it.
67 GT350?
Yep. Only 1,175 made total.
Need my tennis racket. It's Wimbledon white, right?
It is Wimbledon white. Carroll Shelby was a great race car driver as well as a great builder of cars, and that's why Ford got involved with him to begin with. Got it here in Las Vegas about 12 years ago. It's a treasure to own. What made this car famous was the movie Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage. They nicknamed the car Eleanor. That's why the car is worth more value today.
I mean, it's really an iconic car. This is what a muscle car is supposed to look like. A lot of people like Mustangs, but as far as I'm concerned, they didn't look good until 67, 68. That's when they looked cool.
Yeah. It was originally a Ford, as all Shelbys were.
The thing was, is Ford built them, they sent them to the Shelby plant, and they did a little bit of motor work and a little body work. and that made it a GT350.
It's actually the fourth of the last GT350s. In 68, 69, and 70, all those cars were turned over to Ford, and that's when Shelby's hands were taken off the cars. The 67 was one of the last ones that he had his hands on.
The 67 is the best, period.
I appreciate that.
It really is. I mean, this was the way Carroll Shelby envisioned the car, okay? And he worked on it, his guys worked on it. It wasn't guys at a Ford plant slapping it together who didn't give
Exactly.
This is one of the quintessential cool cars of the 1960s. There was right around 100 modifications that Shelby did to a Ford Mustang to make the GT350. It improved its performance, its handling, and its style. Needless to say, this is about as cool as it gets, and I would love to have it.
This is clean. This is really nice. Ah, it looks all beautifully stock. That's what I like to see.
Yep, original 4-speed top loader. It's got 63,000 original miles on the car.
Original gauges. I'm sure the upholstery's been redone.
Just the inserts in the seats actually have been redone.
Well, that's expected to be done. It's just as long as it's done right.
Right.
And this all looks right. And he signed the glove box. Always charged like a couple $100. You just had to give it to his charity, right?
Yep, that's the way it went.
That's definitely a plus, as far as I'm concerned.
To tell you the truth, I'm a little shocked. A car like this rarely drives into my shop. It looks legit, but I'm assuming he wants an arm and a leg for this thing. Because if this was my car, that's what I'd want.
So how much are you going to get out of it?
Well, my asking on the car is $125,000. I've done my homework on this car. I know the value of it. I feel it's a fair price what I'm asking for the car.
Okay. I'm going to call up a buddy of mine, have him come down here and help me figure out the price. I mean, it's an expensive car. There's a million little things that raise and lower the prices on these things.
Okay.
Okay? So
right.
let me get him down here. He will know every single thing there is to know about this car.
Terrific. Okay. If I was in his position, I would go ahead and I would call in someone to take a look. But I know the car is what it is, and I think it'll bring the value that I'm looking for.
Now that's a car. Kind of lift up the dress and see what we got going on here. Let's get under this hood here first. Nice. There it is, the Hypo 289, man. It looks like it's a pretty well-kept engine bay. You know, this is definitely a car that's been cherished, I can tell that. What really makes the difference right now is the test drive. That's the only way to validate whether it's a real Shelby.
I think it's the real deal, guys.
Do you mind if we take it for a spin around the block, make sure there's no problems, everything's running right?
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Okay. So I promise I won't break it.
Okay, you promise.
The Hypo 289, let's do this.
Be careful with my baby.
Back in '67, when you were driving this car, you were kind of a baller. I mean, this was paying a lot of money to drive a Mustang. Yeah. You could drive a Porsche for the price of this car back then. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's nice, man. She's real tight. The test drive was awesome, man. It's a solid car. It felt good. It's got really good power. You know that car would get the goods when you lay into the throttle.
What do you think it's worth?
Well, it's a solid car, runs and drives good. So I'd say anywhere between $100,000 to $110,000. I appreciate you letting us take it for a nice, easy meander down the road.
I appreciate what you said, and we'll talk and we'll see how it
goes. You got a great car, man. Great car,
I appreciate
Rick.
it. Thanks so much.
See you soon,
Good luck, buddy.
So, what do you think?
I think it's a great car, and I rarely do this, but I'm not going to negotiate. I will give you 100 grand. There's no money past 100 grand, none.
Is it feasible that you might be able to do 105?
No. Anything past 100 doesn't make a dime of sense.
All right, so that's the max you're going to go?
Not one dime more.
You got a deal.
Sweet. Let's go do some paperwork, and
right.
We can figure out if my dad's going to yell at me for driving for a week.
I figure this was a good point for me to go ahead and let it go. And now he's got the car, I got the money, and I'm out of here.
The Hard Rock Hotel that is right off the Strip recently closed down. The entire property was covered with amazing rock and roll photography. All this stuff was sold off when the place changed hands. I recently got contacted by an individual who says he has all those photographs and is looking to sell them. This sounds almost too good to be true, but you know what? I just have to check it out.
Hey, Rick, how are you doing?
Hey, you must be Richard?
That's me.
And you have the Hard Rock collection.
I sure do. They're all in the back. Come on, follow me. I'll show them.
I mean, and you got all the photos?
I do. It's an amazing find. So here it is.
Whoa, that's absolutely amazing.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely cool, man.
The Hard Rock Hotel here in Vegas was probably considered like the coolest, hippest hotel maybe in the world. Not only was it memorabilia, I mean, it was stuff like this. This you can hang in anywhere. But the pair of pants of a rock star has its place in society, but not in every home.
Exactly. I'm looking to sell a collection of photos. These photos were all in the Hard Rock Hotel, in the most expensive suites, and also in the lobbies. A buddy of mine works there, and he tipped me off that this collection was going up for sale. I knew I had to buy them. I'm looking for $150,000 for this entire collection of 50 pieces.
I think it's absolutely amazing. Okay, Deborah Harry.
Absolutely, Blondie.
I'm assuming this is Kiss in Japan?
Yes, Kiss in Kyoto by Bob Gruen. And Bob is an amazing photographer. He did the famous photo of John Lennon on the streets of New York with a little hat on.
All right, sweet.
Is that Michael Jackson playing basketball as a little kid?
Absolutely. These are unpublished, limited edition prints by Neil Preston. And yeah, the Hard Rock got their hands on it. It's amazing.
I mean, it's just incredible. And what's this over here?
So this is actually collage, also by Neil Preston, about Led Zeppelin. This is him on tour for 7 years with these guys.
Whoa. I mean, he was around at, like, the epic 70s when rock bands cruised around on their own jets. The stories he must have.
Oh, yeah. But then this, Rick, is really what I wanted to show you. This is the holy grail of the entire collection. So this is in Wembley Stadium in 1986.
It's Freddie Mercury. He was like no other singer the world has ever seen. That is the money shot.
Yeah, exactly.
This is some other stuff of Neil Preston's.
Yep. David Bowie, for instance, 1972. Bruce Springsteen in Japan. And then we have Stevie Nicks in her dressing room.
This is incredible.
Some photographers are famous, and some of them are legends.
So you acquired all this from the Hard Rock?
I did. I have 50 pieces.
And how much do you want?
I want $150,000 for them.
Okay. This is a lot of money. I want to call some money down to take a look at these and just make sure everything's legit. So give me 5 minutes. I'm going to make a phone call, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely.
All right, and I'll be right back.
No problem.
I so wish I was a rock star instead of a Pawn Star. Neil, how's it going?
Hey, good to see you.
Richard, this is Neil Preston, the legend rock and roll photographer of the ages.
If you want to put it that way. I've worked very closely with Led Zeppelin, Queen, Michael Jackson. The list is pretty endless.
A lot of it's your stuff, and just a lot of questions. First off, is it all legit from the Hard Rock?
Well, I'll tell you what, it all looks very familiar, and it all was definitely hanging up at the Hard Rock.
So you took the shot in '86?
Yep, that shot was done at Wembley Stadium in 1986, which was the year after Live Aid.
I mean, right down at the bottom it says 13 of 15. So there was only 15 of these made, and this is number 13.
Correct. We had a platinum edition made of this, what is now a very famous photo of Freddie Mercury. And I personally signed it and wrote his name and where it was shot and everything, and it's the real deal.
I mean, you toured with them guys,
yeah,
right?
Yes, I did. And in fact, I brought you a copy of my new Queen book. And just to show you, there's the famous shot.
That's pretty amazing. The sun in the background, and like, literally, I'm sure if he did that pose more than 3 or 4 times in one concert, he would hurt himself badly.
Well, he was pretty elastic, I must say. Sometimes when the stars align, you nail it.
Michael Jackson?
Yep. I haven't seen those in a while because these were hanging in the Hard Rock in one of the restaurants, and they're the only prints that I ever made from those frames. You can see Michael's about 11 or 12 playing basketball, and these pictures were shot at the famous Jackson family compound in Encino, California.
So those are the only ones in existence?
That is correct. They've never been displayed anywhere else, and they are, in fact, one of a kind.
Okay. And everything's all legit and cool?
Everything is completely legit. We can check all the boxes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, man. And thanks for helping me out here. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, my pleasure. See you later.
See you, man. You know, we're talking a lot of money here. I just want to call Chad, my art guy, get his opinion, and we'll go from there.
No problem.
Okay, I'll be right back. Confirmed artists, the real, 150,000. I have a lot to think about. So, the Hard Rock collection. He wants $150,000 for 50 pieces. This is probably the most incredible stuff right here. What do you think?
$150,000 is a lot of money on one hand. On the other hand, I mean, have you ever seen anything like that of Michael Jackson before? Michael Jackson is incredibly popular here and even more popular in Europe to this day. These by themselves, as one of ones, Neil Preston's, if they're in good condition, these could easily be $40,000.
Okay.
Then, the first thing when I walked in, these caught my eye, and this. So this is a platinum print. It is the rarest print. It's the most complicated to make. Just to make this print, if it was of nothing, would be $1,000. But this is one of the most iconic photographs, if not the most iconic photograph of Queen that I'm aware of. 6,000 to 8,000, not a problem.
So if I buy all of these 50 pieces and I sell them individually, I can probably sell them within a year?
I'd say that's fair.
How much do you think I'll get retail?
This stuff is really great. Neil Preston, Led Zeppelin. Bob Gruen, Kiss, the most iconic Kiss photographer. Johnny Rotten, the Michael Jackson. Deborah Harry, who doesn't love Deborah Harry? Come on. All of this together, retail, $200,000.
Okay. If I get the stuff, I'll give you a call, and I'll let you know what happened.
Maybe I'll pick up a piece off of you. It's fantastic.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations on the collection. It's really cool.
Thank you so much.
So you've been in the art business for a while?
I have.
Okay. There's not a gallery in the world that would pay $150,000 for $200,000 worth of art that's going to take them a year to sell. So this figure should be right around $90,000.
Let's come up to 130.
The most of the stuff I got to reframe. 95?
How about 100?
Well, I guess I'm going to pay you 100 grand then.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to call my shop. I'm going to get the van down here. I'll get you paid.
Great.
Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Rick.
This is incredible. Now the only hard part is not taking it all home and putting it on my walls.